Airline Manager 4, planes with the lowest fuel consumption. So I made a chart that shows aircraft sorted based on the amount of fuel used per kilometer. And obviously, the small aircraft, the Cessna 172, had the best rating at 4 pounds per kilometer. The MAX, the B737 MAX aircraft ranked pretty well. And I saw a few other surprises. The CRJ 100, which is something I used often, shows up. The Challengers, the Neo, and then over here, this is a continuation. Listing is 20 to 37. You see a lot of the CRJs are dominating, and the ERJs. So those are basically the types of aircraft. You can go to cheapbooks.cc and look under the fuel section of Airline Manager 4, see the chart that I'm referencing, and I'm going to explain it real quick. Over here you have net profit. The high number means that you make more profit over your fuel costs. And it's the B737 MAX 10, which is like number 3 in the game. So getting the MAX is good, but they're expensive. You want to know how much money do you have, how much can you afford. You're going to start out with the $100,000 aircraft. None of them, okay, the Learjet 25B made the list, but unfortunately it's not a high profit aircraft. Doesn't carry enough passengers. And the Cessna did. So then you get up into the 500,000 aircraft, and that's when you can use this chart. And the reason why you're going to use this strategy is if your strategy is to buy fuel at the cheapest price possible, then this chart's going to be very useful because you're going to save on your fuel cost. So once you get into the 500,000 range, you're going to see aircraft like the CRJ 100 and the ERJs. You want to see what the distance is. The Challenger 600 looks really good in terms of distance, but not so much in terms of passengers. And in terms of passengers, most of these aircraft carry 50 passengers. So then you would refer to the distance. They all do pretty good, but it looks like the CRJ 100 LR and the CRJ 200 LR are going to be good values if you want to save money on the fuel cost. So the 3700, the fuel cost, which should be around 19,000 without a stopover. And I believe I did it at 800 per pound of fuel per 1,000 pounds. You got to double the fuel cost to 40,000, and you double the gross profit, which would be 360,000. So I would say once you get up to the 600,000, look at these CRJ aircraft. They do very well in terms of fuel efficiency per kilometer. And then once you get up into the 20 million mark, you look at the B737 MAX. Might be a way to go before you get there. But as for all the ranges in between, there really wasn't a lot of choices. I would definitely recommend this ERJ 145XR. It's got a good range at 3705. 50 passengers is pretty good. And low fuel usage. It's got a good profit ratio. And it ranked number 2 on the list after the Cessna. So in terms of practicality, what is the most fuel efficient aircraft, the cheapest fuel running cost? You're going to be looking at this ERJ 145XR. Once you can buy $1 million planes. And then when you look at the Challenger 604, look at that range. You can do almost triple the range going to be about the same amount of passengers and about the same amount of income. So if you look at an income value, obviously the Maxes are going to be there, and the Antonov over here. We've got this ERJ 170-100 AR, costs $2.4 million. It's got a decent range, a lot of passengers, brings in a lot of money, but it is double the cost of the cheaper ERJ. In terms of a low-cost aircraft, you've got the CRJ, brings in the same amount of money as the ERJ 145XR. So those are your choices. You want the most fuel efficient in terms of consumption, it's going to be this ERJ 145XR. Okay, if you have any comments or questions, you can go to the forum and post them here, and I'll respond to them. I also am the owner of cheapbooks.com, which is a website for books and textbooks.